All right, so today we're going to go over a method that you can use to help convert spares. You can score a maximum of 190 points without getting a strike, and spares are an important part in getting that score to go up. The strategy or the process that we'll go over is the 3-6-9 strategy, and what that refers to are the boards on the floor. So if you look at the floor here, there's little strips, 1-inch strips, and those are all called boards. So the first thing that we can review is our aiming. Now, we briefly talked about how we want to aim for the second arrow, in from the right or in from the left, depending on which hand you bowl with. So if I'm a right-handed bowler, my aim is that second arrow in from the left, okay? And if you look in your playbook, the reason why we aim for that is because of the pocket here, the 1-3 pocket or the 1-2 pocket. That just refers to the area between the 1 and 3 pin or the 1 and 2 pin if you're left-handed, okay? Some of you might have noticed that if you hit the pin straight on, very rarely do you get a strike. The best spot to aim is right for that pocket, and the easiest way to aim for that pocket is to aim for that second arrow. That'll kind of get your ball on a path to hit that pocket and hopefully knock down all the pins, okay? So the 3-6-9 approach assumes that you're aiming for the second arrow, okay? Standard ready stance should have you, and I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but it should have your right foot, if you're right-handed, on the 15th board. That's the third dot. So if I'm up here, get myself in ready position, okay, I know that my steps lead me right about here. I'm putting my right foot on that third dot. That's where I want to be, okay? That way when I approach, my ball naturally, if I roll it straight, my ball naturally will go over that second dot, okay? So in order to use the 3-6-9 spare conversion, we have to identify the pin that we're knocking down, okay? So Chapter 6, if you guys are following along, it has this little chart here. And this chart you can use to help you line up your body dependent on the pin that you're trying to knock down. So this is a single pin conversion. So if I look here on my chart, if the only pin left standing is the 1 or the 5 pin, I go to my chart and I don't need to adjust at all. Okay, I start where I would normally start with my right foot on that 15 board or the third spot. If I look and I see that the second pin or the 8 pin is the pin that is left standing, then I'm going to look at the chart and it says move 3 boards right. So if I normally start on the 15 board, I'm going to move my toe 1, 2, 3. And that simple adjustment will put my body in a position where if I aim for that second arrow, that pin should fall down if I roll the ball straight, okay? So if I'm looking here at the 4, it says 6 boards to the right. So if the 4 pin is the one that's standing, I know that I start here on the 15 board. There's 5 boards in between, so I know I can move to a dot and then just an additional board over. If I aim for that second arrow and I roll the ball straight, that's where it'll go, okay? So you can use this chart to help adjust your body position according to the pin that you're aiming for. Now, as you guys all know, oftentimes there's more than one pin standing if we don't hit them all. So then we can go over here to this funky chart, and these are some common spare or some common pin organizations or clusters that you might see after a roll. So you can use this to identify the key pin, and that's the one that's shaded. Okay? So if you look at the shaded one, you can pretend that's one pin. You go back to your conversion chart and look how to adjust your body, okay? So there's a number of steps that you can do. You'll have to use your playbook a couple of times as a reference, and that's okay. And if you don't want to use this, if you're more concerned with appropriate ready stance, approach, and delivery, if you're still thinking about that, that's okay too, okay? Being that we're in a half a semester, it's a lot to think about in a short period of time. So this really, you're not going to be assessed or evaluated on this. This is just for those of you who are fairly comfortable with your ready stance, approach, and delivery. You can use this as a reference to help you knock down some extra pins.